She takes a plane every day, but she never fastens her seatbelt. Yet this habit actually ended up saving her life. As the girl was sleeping in her boyfriend's arms, a fighter jet suddenly roared past. Then it collided directly with the passenger plane. The fuselage was instantly torn open with a huge hole. The powerful airflow at high altitude immediately sucked the flight attendants and passengers out. Because she didn't fasten her seatbelt, the girl was tossed around. Just as the airflow was about to suck her out of the cabin, her boyfriend grabbed her in time. But in the end he still couldn't resist the strong airflow and let go. Fortunately she reacted fast enough, grabbed the seat next to her, and wasn't thrown out by the airflow. But her boyfriend wasn't so lucky. The airflow instantly tore the plane into two halves, and took her away as well. Then the girl followed the other half of the fuselage, and began to fall rapidly. That's when she finally thought of the seatbelt, and quickly fastened it on herself. The rest could only be left to fate. She just hoped the seatbelt could save her life. Soon the plane was only dozens of meters from the ground. Luckily, at that moment her falling speed was slowly decreasing. A few seconds later she slammed straight into the ground, but unexpectedly the girl miraculously survived. When she woke up again, she was already in a forest. Though she narrowly escaped death, her calf was pierced by plane debris. Luckily it didn't hit a major artery. She wanted to pull it out, but the metal was stuck too tightly. Just moving it a little made the girl almost faint from pain, but she knew she had to pull it out. So she gathered her courage again. This time she used all her strength, and the metal began to slowly separate from her calf. Finally, in waves of heart-wrenching screams, it was pulled out. Then the girl sat there for a long time before she recovered from the pain. She quickly tore off a piece of her skirt and simply wrapped the wound. Then she struggled to stand up and began desperately calling her boyfriend's name, but she found there was actually another survivor in the back row. She ran up excitedly, but the next second, the sight of the corpse almost made her faint. She collapsed helplessly to the ground and slowly slipped into unconsciousness. After a long time, a mosquito woke her from her coma. Then she heard the roar of a helicopter. It was a rescue team sent by the local government. The girl quickly tore a scarf from the nearby dead body and ran toward the sound of the rotors, ignoring the stabbing pain from her wound. When she saw the helicopter, she waved the scarf in her hand and shouted loudly, but the helicopter flew straight over her head. Luckily an old man on board saw her, but the person in charge thought, falling from 50 meters, there was no way anyone could survive. Maybe that person was just a camp cook nearby, waving at the helicopter to say hello. The girl could only watch, as her only chance to live flew over her head, unable to do anything. Meanwhile on the other side, ground crews began large-scale searches, but without exception all they found were bodies. No survivors at all. Then the earlier helicopter, after dropping off the officer, decided to go back and search again. The pilot thought that person didn't look like they were waving hello, but more like they were calling for help. They also had families of their own, so they understood how the victims' families felt. Even if there was only the slightest hope, they couldn't give up. The girl's mother, after getting the news, immediately rushed to the airport, but the staff there told her it was a car accident. Even though her daughter was on a plane, could there be some hidden truth